Okay, just a update, a personal update. Actually thinking about, pardon me. Oh, I should get some more light on, by the way. I hope that's better. Anyway, actually thinking about doing another channel on this because I've been learning a bit more about where people in general are in this country and where I am. For those who aren't aware, and even for those who are, they probably don't know how deep it is. But I've been basically isolated my entire life from society, from American society. I've never participated really in anything of significance culture-wise. I mean, high school was, I think, the peak of my participation in American culture. I did have a job. I was employed for several, very well employed, very successfully for a number of years until I became disabled. Actually, until September 1st, September 11th, 9/11. Shortly after that, I lost my job and never went back to work. But being, when I was working, I was among people. When I was going to school, I was among people. But after that, after 2009, when I graduated, I didn't spend any time around anybody. So we're talking 3 years. I didn't spend around anybody. This 3 years, I didn't see anything about how any of the world works. And even at that, even since I think probably 2009, no, 2008, no, it was 2009. It was the same year I graduated. It was the last time it was social at all. I did an internship at Sanctuary. I went to conventions, traveled to San Jose, I think was the last time I went to San Jose. Went to Pittsburgh 1 year. But since 2009, I haven't gone anywhere. Oh no, I'm sorry. I went to Pittsburgh in 2010 or something like that. But I haven't been out since then. I haven't observed much about the world, especially not California. I mean, it's been 20 years since I've been to this part of California, and spent any time here. And I have to say, what world is this? Where the hell am I? I mean, who are you? I honestly don't know who Americans are anymore. I honestly don't understand anything about what's going on. Most people I come across are of a kind of personality that I saw only very rarely when I was more social back in high school and then a few years after that. Those kind of people, the kind of people I see so much today, those kind of people were one in a million, but now they're just everywhere. And it's people that are I don't know how to describe it other than to say maybe they're subconsciously aware that there's something wrong, but don't understand what it is and can't do anything about it and feel imprisoned, I guess is the best way to put it. But anyway, it's these kind of things I want to start addressing in this new channel I want to create. Because I've come to realize that I've kept what I learned in my younger days, where it seems most people haven't. The world, the society here in America has deteriorated so much and people they're just losing touch with perspective, with reality, with their education, with knowledge, fact. I have casual conversations with someone, and this is an example. Okay, this is an example. People who know that global warming isn't real. It's what the heck gives someone the ability, the onus, I should say, to declare themselves expert enough to say that, oh, I'm sorry, global warming, human-caused global warming isn't reality. Where's your data? Where's your expertise? Where's your authority? Where's your credibility? And where's the agreement with the consensus with other scientists, with other people who do this, who are specialized in learning these things, in studying these things, and knowing how these things work? What the hell makes you expert enough to make such an opinion? And if you're making such an opinion, and if you're making judgments of that nature, that vastly important nature, the future of humanity, the future of the very planet, you're making that kind of decision without any kind of knowledge, without any kind of expertise, without any kind of learning, what other kinds of decisions are you making? This is a democracy. This is governance. And I don't mean to be rude or mean or anything like that to anybody, but we are being governed by ignorant fools. That's you and me. Uninformed, unintelligent, unresearched votes just get us in trouble. I mean, look at what our presidential choices are. Mr. Lazy Fuck, I can't lead to save my fucking life. I'm gonna try a little bit to fix the economy, to fix this country, but there's not much I can do, so I'm just gonna throw up my hands and just talk like this, because I don't know what I'm doing. And then there's Mr. I'm gonna continue to ruin the country. Oh, God. Literally, this election, we have a choice between voting for the guy who isn't doing a good job, or is doing a very bad job of fixing the mess, or letting the guy win whose party created the mess in the first place. That's our choice. How pathetic. I should just run. Jeez. Anyway, update time, I guess. Working on the boat. I've got unbelievable amount of bad water down in the bottom of the fuel tanks. One of the fuel tanks, 450 gallon capacity, I have so far pulled 9, 10, 11 gallons of water out of it. Although I think what's going on, because it feels like water, I think what it is it's the water component of diesel fuel. I don't know how the hell it could have gotten there. I mean, condensation that much, 10 years worth, maybe. I don't know. I just don't see it. I hope I don't have a water leak in my fuel. There's an easy way to check. I could test that water for salinity. Evaporates. See, there's a white powder left over after I evaporate it. That's called testing for salinity. Oh, God. Does anybody out there get it? Don't you get it? That you can do all these things yourself. Oh, let's see. I'm rebuilding a boat to make it sailable, and I've never done it before. I've never worked with a ferrocement hull boat. I've never been on a boat except a catamaran. I've never owned a boat. I've never maintained a boat. I've never cared for a boat. I don't even know what most of these terms are. And yet I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. I'm researching. Research. Go to the library. Go online. You only know go online, but there's a library too. They have neat things called books, which have knowledge in them. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, continuing the update. On a personal note, I'm finding it really hard to wake up. It's depressing for a number of reasons, chief among which is that I'm leaving, and I can't change my mind. And another source of the depression is knowing what's coming. Yeah, I was going to talk about making predictions. Yeah, that's a good idea. But first, I'm going to turn my sausage over. talk while I do this. Pardon me, I don't mean to be rude. Predictions. Okay, well, one of the things I wanted to talk about, I'll just do a little practice here for my new channel, I guess. I'll be preparing all those videos. But global warming, you know, we've been talking about it, and someone brought up the subject, and I might try this on him because he's challenged me to, invited me to lunch. I consider that a challenge, I bet. But, hi, sorry I'm not on camera. But, so global warming. Okay, briefly, what is global warming? Okay. This is education for me. Yay. What is global warming? Well, when this planet was first created, excuse me, I should edit that out. As this planet developed, well, I guess it was created out of the debris floating around the solar system. Anyway, as this planet formed, developed, is life. Well, let's start with life. When life began on this planet, it began in the ocean because the atmosphere was unbreathable by anything. It was called a reducing atmosphere, which means you inhale and your lungs are filled with caustic gas, which disintegrates your lungs. Yeah. Or not caustic, acidic. Yeah, acidic, which would eat your lungs. You'd have so much carbonic acid that it would dissolve you. Fun place to be. Remember that. Caustic, not caustic, reducing atmosphere. So acidic. I think it's acidic. Yeah, anyway, it's reducing atmosphere. It would just dissolve you. Or something like that. Sorry, I don't remember my chemistry. Should anybody? So, as life began to form in the ocean, it absorbed carbon and nitrogen, but mostly carbon. So it was just boatloads of carbonic acid in the atmosphere. It's too much, way too much carbon. And carbon dioxide, of course. So as life formed, it absorbed this carbon, and as this life died, which was microscopic, plankton primarily, as it died, it settled to the bottom, and as it settled to the bottom, sediment formed on top of it, and it created these pockets of what we now know as oil. Why it's so deep underground? The bottom of the oceans? Anyway, excuse me, with the exception of the La Brea tar pits, which is an oil thing that came up because it came up out of the ocean. See how that works? Okay, so all this oil was formed over 500 million years. And as this life was created, or as this life was born and then died, it took with it its carbon and sequestered it, hid it from the atmosphere, took it out of the atmosphere. And eventually the earth, the air became breathable. Life crawled up on land. Plants first, and then animals follow along to eat it. And as the life on the planet, on the surface, died, it became coal deposits. Not so much as there is oil, but still plenty of it. And that also took more carbon out of the atmosphere. This whole process took 500 million years. And they've estimated that we will have gone through all of it in 200. No, not 200 million. 200 years. So 500 million years of climate, atmospheric processing through just, creation, building and dying of life and sequestering of its carbon. 200 years we will have undone that. All of that. And if you don't think there's going to be consequences, how can you say mankind is not capable of altering our climate when we have been able to reverse 500 million years of climate or of atmospheric processing in 200 years? How can you say we're not having an effect? We're using up that stored energy at a rate, I think it's 22, Well, let's do the math. 500 million, that's 500,000 million divided by 200. So we are using energy at a rate of, yes, 2.5 million times the rate it was stored. Okay, and the rate it was stored is just about the rate of solar influx onto this planet. So we're using energy. Currently, our society is using 2.5 million times more energy than there is. It's all been stored. If you don't think that has consequences to our planet, to our climate, you know, think about it. All that atmospheric carbon is going back in the atmosphere. What does it do? We don't know. How do you determine what happens? Well, I've been researching it, thinking about it for a long time, using simple logic, a little bit of science. And what I've determined is this. We're not going to have much fresh water soon. We're not going to have snow soon. Okay, the climate on the planet is going to turn into a steamy jungle because global warming, you know, temperatures can only go so high, globally speaking. I think the maximum average temperature on the planet can't be more than, I think it's probably 95 to 105 degrees. And that's solely because of the water. What they're not telling us, what they're not monitoring accurately, well enough, is humidity. So as the temperature increases, the air's capacity for holding water increases. And guess what? Water, the biggest greenhouse gas. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to have temperature's going to keep rising, but it's going to get more humid. Your weather extremes are going to be just tremendous. What I've been learning about the Arctic region is what it does is it keeps the jet stream down low, keeps this nice constant movement of our weather. But the Arctic ice is melted, and now it's a system of its own, so it moves weather, but it moves around the top. It doesn't go anywhere. Like the cyclones that lasted 2 weeks at a time that destroyed nearly all of the ice in the Arctic Sea. They just linger. And that's why this heat wave lasted so long. That's why our weather patterns have changed. They're slowing down and getting more extreme. The energy isn't moving around and shifting and circulating well on the planet anymore. It's all stopping and just kind of lingering slowly. And as it lingers, it gathers more energy or loses more energy. And it gets more extreme and it lasts longer. That's what's going on. Other things to look forward to? I hope you like insects. Because as we lose our winter snow, as we lose our winter cold weather, we lose winter kill of insects. They're going to take over. And I hope you like eating insects, because I give it 5 years before we have to start eating them. Maybe 10. Probably more like 5. I don't know, it could be 1 or 2. It's crazy. Another thing to look forward to, no snowpacks. Like I said, no snowpacks. All the icebergs are going to melt. Sea levels are going to rise a little bit, maybe a lot. Who knows? It's going to be a mess out there. Other predictions? World War III is coming. I think you already know that from my previous videos. It's coming. Anyway, global warming. That's what we're talking about. So how do we fix it? Well, for one, stop using oil. You gotta stop using oil. Period. How do we fix it? Put it back under the ground. Bury the shit. Get rid of it. Just another thing we can do is start scrubbing the atmosphere of carbon dioxide. Simple. We've got to start doing something, people. You know. And here's the thing. Overall, here's what's going on. Here's what needs to go on, I should say. The party is over, okay? Stop partying. That's all you people do is party. This is not a party. This is not a playground. This is a fucking country. This is a part of the world. This is a part of a functioning, flowing, mutually dependent global society. You know, there are so many people on this planet. We cannot be separate like this. We must cooperate, or we will be at each other's throats and tear apart the species itself.